Hugo wants 200, baby.
You ready to get back to the trading action?
You aim, you shoot, and make money. It's going to be a great day. You guys know where you're at.
This has been a wild one, folks. Every day this week is just absolute crazy price action. There we go. And we are right back into it. I am stuck in a trade because I left a position open while I took a shower. So we're going to see if I can dig my way out. And if not, we're going to take a loss. That's okay. We are down 78 on this trade, 68. About to get a little pressure release trim off here. And still fine with being red on this trade. We're very nicely green on the day. We wanted extension. We did not get it. So we will see if we get power hour. We will see if this is a bear flag. Both very possible. We are trading TQQQ, but any instrument is fine. If you pick just about anything, it went up today. If you bought it at the right time, that is. So crazy moves, crazy moves. We're going to zoom out in just a minute and get our bearings here. So we open the day. Let's go to SPY. We open the day right about flat, a little bit up, 1/3%. We come back very quickly to test the previous open. We get a bounce. It looks really good. I got caught trying to long this, front running the morning break. I was greedy. And yeah, so that, all right, looks like we did get our trim off there. Very nice. All right, so we're going to be talking about this trade in just a little bit because this was not good. I should have waited for confirmation because I knew there was a lot of room up. So I got caught in this chop. Spent a lot of time scalping my way down. Hey, Leo, good to see you in here, brother. Good to see you in here. We've had a wild day here. So this double bottom was where I got really interested. And we got long here, caught this really nice surge up. I didn't catch all of it. I took half off at high a day, half off up here. And then we got back long, involved perfectly here off the really clean ES 6600 back test. So that was very nice. Let's take a look at our trade. We got our trim off, came back a little, still flagging, still not confirming bullish. I have a sneaking suspicion that this might extend downside to fill this gap completely. But the other side of the trade is that we gapped up and we're tracing back into this gap and showing that there are buyers. So now we just need to see if this cohort of buyers will hold. And that is what we were kind of banking on here for a little move up. We would like to see new high a day, but that's kind of pushing it at this point. I think it's reasonable to look for mid-range retracement. And we can visualize that like this. So getting right back about here would be all that we really expect. And we want to just see what price does there. Oops. What I also like to do is measure this new swing that we just created and look for the 50% retrace of that. So that's actually probably where I would look for here. And that has a nice confluence with this little patch of buyers who tried to hold and catch us and failed. So if we sweep those buyers out, stop all these guys out, and we're able to reclaim this, we should squeeze the bears. This is looking a little bit bearish though. So I may just take a relatively graceful exit here. Not liking what I'm seeing. Not liking what I'm seeing. We'll flip over to bookmap really quick. They did take some of the layers off to the downside here. This is holding, but it could be a relatively quick flush because of the lack of buyers here. What we want to see is this aggression continue and hold, but those represent short-term buyers, so we can't give them too much validity yet. Okay, we will check out our GEX really quick. And this was informing our trade bias all day long. When we were under this big 660 level, I was just looking for any reason to get long because I knew that we were negative gamma, could see a sharp move up, and they really don't want to monetize all these 660 puts. They really want to close above 660. So that's kind of been how I've been framing today's price action. It's been going very well, I must say. Sloppiness to, I took a shower up here and I had runners. And then I said, hey, if we go down here and hold the base of this, I kind of want to get involved again. They filled about here. And then I came back from my shower about here. So we're taking it easy. We're playing with profits. We're not getting too crazy because the price action is crazy enough. I am starting to see a potential for a curved curl top kind of H shape here. I don't want it to happen, but I am seeing the potential for it. So I'm just got to keep an eye on it. Just got to trade what we see and not get too committed to the long. That looks bad. So we want to see some wicks up here. Not seeing too much strength. Like we said on the book map, there is potential for a little bit of a flush with these levels weakened. It does look like it's what we're going to get. So I'm waiting on this candle close. 30 seconds here, and I'll very likely close this long. How are you guys doing today? Make any trades? Let's hear about what you guys are up to. We can go over some of those as well. I have some that I want to go over in detail once the price kind of stops being, I guess it hasn't been interesting the past 10 minutes, but I feel like we're building up to a move here that I would like to tape read live for you before we go into the old stuff. So this is supportive. We got the candle we needed to stay in the trade. If I was playing really conservative, I could put a stop right under here just because this cohort of buyers caught us. If they fail, then we could probably finish this pattern down here at the very least. And with the potential to go further, that means that there's no real reason for me to be in if we close a candle under here, which looks like they're trying pretty hard to test. Got 30 seconds left on this candle as well. We will wait and see if they can wake up. Hey, Crow Trades, good to see you in here, brother. We are having a good day. We are stuck in a bad trade. We're seeing if we can dig our way out. If not, we will take a graceful exit. The name of the game is not to be greedy, and I was a little greedy. I kept a runner open while I had to go and do some things. Came back. I got filled on some more orders. I'm down a little bit in a position that's a little bigger than I'd feel comfortable with. So we're going to keep it relatively tight here. I'm going to go to the TQQ chart now. See, this was me being dumb, thinking that we are going to V-shape because we're in negative gamma and saying, oh, well, I'll just chase up here, get out right here. Oh, I'm break even. Instead, just sweating me. As is tradition, sloppy trades should be punished. That's healthy price action. So I'm not gonna cry over it. If we get up here, there's a good chance for expansion up a little higher. We're gonna flip to the 5-minute and find our fair value gap that we might be dipping into. And what I note is this is actually very, very efficient price action. This pushed down, it wicked back up and filled that gap. Pushed down, wicked back up, filled that gap. So there's not really a liquidity pocket to target up here. I think we'd be shooting for high of day if we can get there. We will be watching the midpoint of the range. This is really our level where we want to see it test and either reject or ideally squeeze above. We are building some momentum here. We like that on book map. Nothing too different going on. Ooh, that's nice. That's nice. Spicy little pop of volume on both sides. We've got a battle on our hands here at this level. And we are just going to keep on keeping on here. Our bias has been correct for the day, so we do not fade our bias as long as it works, even if we take a bad trade and it goes against us. High time frame bias is your roadmap. Just bumping and grinding up here. Gonna take a look at my watch list, see what's popping. Oh, sorry about the screen ratio. Okay. All sectors green. You like to see that. Starting to look like a bottom, isn't it, guys? We got to watch the day's close, and we definitely got to watch for follow through on Monday. But I'm starting to feel like we might have rounded a corner here. And I'm starting to entertain, looking for long swings. Got a few names on my watch list that we can go over in a few minutes here. I still like ONDS. Might have Stockholm syndrome in that one. I am still a little bit red again, I should say, on that. But we believe, and we have time. FRO, I'm in that trade for a swing as well. Got in yesterday. It would have been a better entry this morning. We'll look at that in just a sec as well. I want to see this play out. This is not looking like what I really want to see. Active sellers on bookmap. And yet still buyers. We've got a battle. Not going to sell just because there's a seller. Want to see who is in charge, who's winning. I have a sneaking suspicion bulls are still in charge, but I could be wrong. And this is where the rubber meets the road right here. Whether this is a bear flag or whether this is a base for another attempt to squeeze into close. We would love to squeeze bears. Just give them a good spanking. They've been having it too good for too long. We can't have that. Alrighty. So we've got a little wick here to possibly define risk if we're playing really granularly. Don't mind my risk being just a little bit wider, but I'm going to be manually stopping out before this probably if it looks really bad in this area. Still sellers. And you just got to respect the potential for this to be a rising wedge or bear flag type formation when you see the spikes up in the selling. But then when you see these continuing higher lows, you can't really assume it's a bear flag until it loses one of these lows. And then it can start scooping stops all the way down very fast. So that's how you get the breakdown of these types of patterns. But as of now, no real signs here in this specific consolidation about which direction we're going. I did like that on this red candle, there was very high volume. So that was notable. It's not great. And I know that I'm near the end of my trading day just because I was trading very actively and I have decision fatigue. I'm starting to stare at the charts and go like, oh, you know that Always Sunny in Philadelphia meme where Charlie's just like rubbing his temples. I like, that's how I feel. All the formulas are swirling around me. Too many trades, too many setups. We made money. We don't want to give too much back. So I don't think this is enough to invalidate yet. I'm feeling like I'm in a red trade. I don't want to be in a red trade. I don't really want to be in any trades at all. So I'd like to just get out here, but I don't want to sell just because I'm uncomfortable. That's not a good reason to sell. If you're uncomfortable because of a good reason, technicals, fundamentals, whatever, that's different. But just because you're uncomfortable, that might just mean that you need to give it a minute or two. And of course, when your analysis is better and more in line with the market, this is looking like it might be breaking down. Pretty jagged. We don't get a wick up in pretty quick here. And I don't want it. That looks bad. Still 30 seconds on the candle. I feel like I'm going to give back a lot of slippage by waiting for the candle to close. But I also feel like it's probably worth it to let it close. So we're going to do that. 25 seconds. Ooh, still very, very red. So looking like it was a rising wedge, huh? And it looks like the correct stop out was just hard stop there. Not wait for the candle close because it can expand down pretty fast. So I think I'm going to take this before it gets worse. 6 seconds left on the candle. It's going to close very bearish. Probably going to expand lower. Getting out. Now it bounces. Now you guys can all make money. All right, let's recap the day here. Up 400. We take that. Gave back about 90 overall. If I had just taken the money here, got out. So is what it is. Correct stop here. Correct stop was up here. It's better to do the next best stop on the candle close when you don't get what you want. You know, if you're sitting here waiting like, oh, maybe it wicks up, but then it doesn't, cut your losses. You should have been quick to the trigger to cut under this level. And then this point we know we're wrong. This point likely to sweep under here. It could reset and form a new base, a new pattern. This area, this rising consolidation, this might be all we get from that. Don't really think so, and I definitely don't want to bet on it into the close. Into negative gamma like we are, into the close, so much shake and bake, so many ways that you can get hurt. Oh, it's going to V-shape on us now, huh? Probably going to V-shape on us here. But we will... I think we'll probably just watch. If you are a bear, you could fade a pop-up into this gap here that was just created, and you could look for a fill of the gap here. I don't think I'm going to take it. I don't think I'm going to take anything. I'm just too bullish. I'm too bullish is the problem. So like up here, I'm like, oh, we got room. Why not? We got room on the daily. We do not necessarily have room intraday. So we're going to sit, we're going to hang out, we're going to watch, and we are going to observe. We're going to go around the horn as well, check out some other trades that we've either taken or are looking to take, and maybe we get some entries into close for swings. So ONDS, this one's been very good to us today. We got in at 626, I think, 620. Did I bottom tick that? Oh, it was right here. Yes. So I got in right here, and the trade idea was we had the double bottom on the market. We had the double bottom on the individual name. $6 is way oversold on this guy, just in terms of ATR, in terms of how fast it moves in both directions. So I was looking for a long anyway. I missed this. I was too busy trading SPY up. This is when we had the explosive move on SPY. Beautiful trade there. And then when we started, oh wait, no. Yeah, I got in here and I locked in at 640. My target was just this fair value gap, and it hit there, and I got all out. So just a little quick trade, 20-minute trade for, what is that? 20 cents, something like that. So I still like this one on a higher time frame, but it's scary. I'm not going to lie. This is not the candle we wanted to see yesterday. This is good though. It sweeps this range, but kind of holds the bottom of the range, cleans up this breakout here, and this is a consolidation on top of the bottom of the base. So in theory, this is going to start cupping out here, and we get an explosive move into the end of the year. So I like this one for a swing. We can look at Zim too. I like that one for a swing. Really nice consolidation on the daily here, and this is over the view or the 200-day moving average, which I believe is right here at 1609, 1610. So I like this one a lot. The more you zoom out, the better it looks. You got this beautiful base break here. This is a top focus for me. And keeping it in the shipping sector, FRO. Incredibly tight megaphone here. It could be a rising wedge, but I think that this one's ready to go. This one's lagging the other tankers, and I believe it was because this is the one that has the most options flow. There was a ton of November 25 calls that they just really didn't want to see paid out, I don't think. So up here, it hit the 25. I took my calls off. Then it plunged. I wish I just bought the December calls down here. Instead, I waited for a back test of here. Got involved here yesterday at 25. But the idea here is that this could catch up to the others. The fundamentals are phenomenal. We've got earnings out of the way in all of the tankers except for them, so they can run up into their earnings off the back of good earnings in the rest of the sector. If you go to an even higher time frame, by the way, SPY is knifing here, so we were right to stop out. The weekly chart on Boyle is stealing money. All right, let's look at that in just a sec. I am interested in the natural gas trade for sure. So FRO here on the weekly, we're just powering up here. The fundamentals are so good that every dip is bought. We cleared here. We got a little bit of a stop run just back to this previous structure. Now we're pushing up again. I think the next target is this fair value gap up here. So I'm going to be targeting 2683 to 2778 going into the end of the year. Liking these. Let's bounce back to SPY. See what's shaking. See what's cooking. We were definitely right to stop out there. Maybe we should have flipped short, but I'm too bullish. I'm fine with missing downside trades. Knifey. It's definitely right to take the stop where we did, which is right there. Now we are, oh man, negative gamma price action. Guys, so whenever you're trading in negative gamma, let me first explain what that means, just in case anybody here is not familiar with the concept. Basically, gamma exposure is the amount of buying or selling of the underlying that market makers have to do to be delta neutral or even with all of the calls and puts they're selling to institutes and retail and everybody else. So the idea is there is a level in which price character and price action changes drastically when it is above or below. When it is above, market makers basically have the market on rails. Wow. So the opposite of this. When the market is in positive gamma, you will have price gravitate up to a magnet above. And then when it gets close to it, the magnet will actually repel it. So they are inversing the direction of the overall move, the market makers. So the market's drifting up and they're selling into it as it comes up to the magnet. And then the market dips a little bit and then it gets dragged back up to the magnet. People buy back up there and then it bounces back off again and does that to consolidate into a level until it breaks above. In negative gamma, though, the moves are juiced in both directions. And what that means is that essentially, whereas in positive gamma, they're fading the move, the market makers. So they're keeping it on like, it's like the bumper rails are up in bowling. When we're in negative gamma like this, they have to do the opposite. They have to buy into surges up and sell into surges down. And this is exactly what we see in this price action all week long. We've been in negative gamma and the price has just been mean. It's been overrunning levels in both directions, overrunning stops. And everybody knows that sometimes there are days like this, right? Everybody knows that some days the market is in mean, steal your lunch money mode. But the idea is, how do we identify that so we know it? Because if we are aligned with the market in mean, steal your lunch money mode, then you can get some really, really nice trades as they oversell levels and you get squeezes to the upside, or as they overbuy those squeezes and you can fade them back down. So for example, this is a great example, this little chunk here, of price action in negative gamma. This was so mean, this candle. We just got our double bottom. It looked so good. Volume was piling in. It was trying to base out and surge to claim this W and lock in a bullish base. And it just knifed. This was a big candle, guys. This was a $2 candle. It felt very bad if you were in calls. Don't ask me how I know. But I didn't sell. Mama didn't raise, no paper hands. So we cashed out of those, some at the high of day, some up here. We missed the very top. That's okay. Oh, 660, that's where we were selling. So actually, we basically caught the top. Great trade there. We like that. And this trade was even cleaner because we saw the 660 or 6600 on ES getting nice support on Bookmap, that delta support of the actual volume on the books pushing us up. And then you also had the fact that we had traded under 660, our massive gamma level. So remember, those market makers, they want to keep it above here for in any way they can, but they have to sell with the momentum. So if the market is selling here, they have to sell too, and it overpowers it to the downside. But then it's like a spring compressing, and then it just explodes to the upside with the exact same, for the exact same reason that it exploded to the downside, because it's stabilized. And overall, this is an uptrend of a day. It's a trend up day. And bears are, getting squeezed essentially. And so that's why we got a nice high confidence setup here. We were buying. So when this candle appeared, that was our signal that, the bulls are here and they're ready to party. So then we look at the kind of structure of that bottoming base. We're going to zoom in and look. So this was the level. This red was then offset and nullified by this green. So this move down was really a pull to the large resting buy order of this bull. So once we saw that and it broke above here, more importantly, the neckline, then we're saying, okay, we're looking to get long. Our stop is under the low a day. We're expecting this bull to stay here. If we're wrong, we take a small stop, no harm, no foul. If we're right, though, could get a move like this, a squeeze. And that's what I was calling out in Discord, saying it's not super high confidence because we're in low gamma, but if we do see this bull hold, then we get the squeeze. And when you're given an entry with about, what is that? We'll call it $1 downside. It's actually less, with the potential for $3, $4, $5, $6 upside. This is an easy money trade. Doesn't mean it works more than half the time. Maybe it only works 60% of the time. But you take it every time, because when you're right, it pays for the next 3 or 4 of them. Okay, so now we're getting a bottom candle here. This is nice. What did we wick into? We retested this area and we're trying to form a higher low. So what we can do, just to stay sharp here, keep in the game a little bit, place a buy order here. What is this? Oh, just confirmation. Oh, and it's SPY, so I can't buy my usual 50 lot. Good thing I'm so attentive. All right, so we have a little imbalance opened here. I'd like to see it retested. Oh, I want more than one share. Oh, well, it looks like I missed it too. Okay, here's what we're going to do. Sometimes when you acknowledge the buy candle, you just got to buy it. But you know what? We got a nice expansion candle here. We're going to wait for it to close. Man, it's strong. Oof. Man, it's strong. Look, I could have held. Oh, well. Okay, so we're going to play this right. We get the expansion, then we'll play a dip back into the expansion. Long 8 seconds to hold, to wait here for the candle to close. Okay, a little wick back, totally healthy. Totally healthy. Okay, we've set the gap from here to here. The midpoint of the gap's right about here. We would love a wick back here. Might come back here. And it might just squeeze straight up without us. Oh, bummer. This is the nature of trading negative gamma. Your levels get run. They get run in the other direction. This could still be a back test and we could go down. I don't think so, though, with the strength of this. Definitely looks like a V. So looks like we've got the development of a little bit of an intermediate or short-term top here, which is what we'd like to see. We get the surge up, post 2 top wicks, then it needs to retest back somewhere in the body of the candle where we're looking to get involved. We are in. We might put one order down here too. Put one more and we'll put our stop under this candle. And we'll see if this idea works. Not high confidence, but not risking too much. It is aligned with my overall directional bias, aligned with my indicators still pointing up, I see, on the hourly at the very least. Okay, we are full sized here. And we will take 50 off. We wick back up here to protect ourselves a little bit. There is this imbalance down here that they might target and hold the low. So that is something to consider. Oh, come on, fill us. And all I'm doing here is it's not a high confidence position, and I got filled twice. So I'd like to, on the next candle up, just tranche out. Oh, come on. Just to give myself a little breathing room in case I'm wrong, so that I can build up a little pocket change. So if I get stopped out overall, hey, no worries. Don't love that. How it filled the imbalance up and wicked down, but didn't fill us. It's kind of prepping for a push lower off of that. But we still believe in these buy candles. We want to give them a little bit of room to wiggle out. IVDA, penny runner. Oh boy. All right. Am I ready to trade penny stocks after a long day of scalping? I don't know, but we will play call it at the very least. I would like to get my fill so I could look away. Come on, 2 ticks. That's so hard. And basically all I'm doing there is I'm locking this in as my buy level because this is more defendable than this. As you can see, we're oscillating green-red on this top contract or top tranche of shares. Check in on Bookmap. A little bit of a wall here, but doesn't look like they're really actively defending it yet, at least. We're seeing the buyers still push up there, nudge it on up. So I think we get at least our pressure release candle up. Oh, they want to sweat us. Come on. Apparently my sell order is a resistance level now. But we think this is V-shaping, or at least basing, and it wants to revisit this neckline. That's our hypothesis. We don't love this. We want to see a second respect if it dips into the lower part of this, and if not, they probably need to take it down here. Yeah. I wonder if I just give it a few more ticks. If it wants to come down here. Now I'm moving my stop, so that's bad. See this decision fatigue. Just too much overthinking. And we got a whole whopping 20 minutes left. So we're kind of scraping the bottom of the barrel here in terms of how much of a move we can get. We do have the no short Friday. Hopefully people get scared holding shorts and they close out. That's kind of what we're banking on here for a nice push up into the close. And we can also check in on, SPY's still over 660, so it doesn't need to go higher. Maybe they pin it just right above it. That's definitely possible. I just think that the probabilities of one push up give us a little scalp is decent. Not acting like we want though. This wall is holding better than I initially thought. So they are cooking this candle. Really not what bulls want to see, to be honest. Got the pivot here, got a little air pocket here, which I think they might reach for, and probably run my stop because, hey, why not? But that's okay. It's okay. It'll be a $20 loss if so. And if I take a second loss in a row, especially towards the end of the day, no matter how small, then I need that next setup to be really, really good. Otherwise, I don't need it. Because I know I'm not operating my best here. I was operating real well here, and then I burnt out, which is, I guess, good. Which is when I should have just stopped trading. Would have been up $100 more. But I think this is trying to basically slow down the sellers a little bit. Big push up, taking many more candles to grind down than it is going up. I think as long as it loses or holds the low, it's good. I'll risk $30. Let's check in on IVDA. So I don't stare at 1 minute candles. What notification what have I been alerted to? Sorry, 1 sec. Trying to figure out what notification just pinged. It's a mystery. Gotta love those mystery notifications. Something happened somewhere, guys. That's all I can say for sure. Still just bopping around, wasting our time. We see a little bit of support showing up on the books. We like to see that above this previous swing low. That's a nice constructive potential double bottom, which is what we are playing for here. Not getting the play yet, though. We need to test the liquidity. Probably punch it down a little bit. Then we can see if this bull is real or not. Right now, he hasn't given up, but he hasn't added. And we would have liked to see him add here. 15's the time frame. Yeah, let's look at that. Clean, very clean. Yeah, I like that. I like that more than the trade I'm in. Oh, I accidentally put a limit over there. This thing is very small cap. Do I want to play? Is it even worth it? It does look good. I'll buy 50 shares just for fun. And let's look for an entry on the 1 minute. Off the top of that pivot looks fine if they give it. Oh, they gave it. So we will see how this goes. We're in the arena. We're trying things. Where would we take profit? High day, probably. No, fill up here. Yeah, $1. There's your target. Stop under the 15-minute low. Shouldn't go back under there. And it looks like my TQQQ trade is turning around since I stopped staring at it. So I'll go back and mess it up again. There we go. So now we'll have the potential to add. This is a potential spot to add, but I don't like an immediate back test like this. It could be a rejection, so we'll wait for the candle to close. But this is the higher low that we were looking for. So instead of taking this smaller move, I want the W now, and I will just risk this low because it should be done down here. Hey, Persona YouTube, welcome, welcome. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We are doing a little bit of scalping. I'm going to be honest, I'm not very sharp right now. I made a good amount of money. A couple $100 this morning. 400. Gave back about 100. We are seeing if we can scrape a few pennies out of here, just for fun at the end of the day. Last 3 weeks, weekend, there was a gap up. Next Monday, will it break the trend and gap low? My thoughts. I think we're in negative gamma, so the moves are overdone. So whenever you get a gap down or a gap up, those tend to be closed. So I'm not sure bulls. I mean, bulls always want a gap up, right? But is it gap and go? I think that we're not ready for a gap and go because we're still in negative gamma. So do I think it will gap down? Let's look at the daily. This is very manageable now. We don't have to stare at it. So see how key this zone is? You can see all my little levels there and stuff, but major level of interplay. What I think we're seeing is a fake breakdown, but it doesn't have to V-shape. It could be very messy here. This is TQQQ. We'll go to QQQ. Big level, big zone. Let's draw a zone. Yeah, of course, man. Always happy to answer. Won't always be right, but you'll always get what I think. So this zone here looks interesting to me. Maybe like that. Lots of touches. So see, we're testing it. I think the setup for Monday, I'm not swinging short. I'm not swinging long either, except for high conviction. Yeah, mostly it looks like perfect for flat bottom break. So you're bias bearish. That's understandable. This is like a Rorschach test right now. If you're a bull in general at this point in the market, you're saying it's probably time to buy. If you're a bear, you're saying this is the back test. We're going to sell more. Not sure where I lie right now because I need to see where this daily candle closes. I think we have room up. I'd like to see 600 on QQQ, and I'd like to base my bias on directionality based on how we react at the next big level up. That's kind of how I'm viewing price action outside of intraday. Good to know I'm not a swinger. Oh, you don't know anything, my friend. Who's to say? Who's to say? You only know work, Steve. You have no idea what I get up to. No swinging. I do swing shares. I do swing shares, just not necessarily today. I also swing options that are 90 days out. And I also swing options that are shorter than that, but I don't recommend that. Very rarely. So we think, I'm going to take this zone off. It's messing up my vibe. I'm going to just put it there for now. Like, how do I delete it? Do I gotta go to the daily? I guess I do. Yeah, this is a real good time to be sitting in cash, just in general. Unless you're like high conviction or long time horizon, like, yeah, sure. DCA, I'm not saying sell your Roth or anything. No financial advice here. Are we going to fail here? Looks like oh, it was the mock candle, so it closed my position. Okay, that's what happened. And now we can pump. Do I want to get back in? I actually don't know if we're going to pump now. This is kind of weird. That was a mock sell candle. A small one. I think it probably gets bought up here. Oh, got involved with one share. Not what I meant to do. Panic. Everybody panic. I always forget about the 10-minute close because I'm usually not in positions at this time. Okay. What am I doing? There's 10 minutes left. I'm I'm staring at 1-minute candles, trying to catch a trade like it's here or something. What am I doing? I think probably we could see a little move down. I think overall it doesn't matter what happens into close here. Just going to be short-term reactions to gamma hedging and all of that. Oh, you've been around since the A-Lab trade. I'll take some flowers on the A-Lab trade. Thank you, my friend. Appreciate that. Hope you made some money. Let's look at it real quick. I haven't looked at it in a while. I've been all out for a long time. Area of interest, though. Spooky candle yesterday. Was that an earnings candle, maybe? But I don't think this one's dead. This looks like it's a flag to me. That looks pretty good. I don't know. I ain't shorting that. So yeah, by the way, this was the trade that we took on A-Lab. We got in early, somewhere in this space here. Our cost basis, yeah, it started at 94. We averaged down at, I think, 89-ish or something. There was one 200 SMA tap, like right here, that I didn't get. That was the cash money entry that we should have waited for. But essentially, big cup, big handle. Whenever you get a handle like this that fakes people out, fake the bulls out here, fake bears out here, fake bulls out here, fake bears out here, bulls here, bears here, bulls here, bears here. This is a lot of kinetic energy. So we were very, very, very bullish once it gapped up. Obviously, easy to be bullish when something gaps up 20%. But the point being, we weren't selling here. This was just getting started. So one thing you can do, which is kind of cool, I think this is a GAN technique. And this is not like hard science or anything. I'm not a GAN trader. I need to learn so much more about it. But what I have noticed is, so you take the size of the base, the length of the base, you can roughly make a square. So the length of the base, project that up. And very often that will be an area of significant resistance. You see how perfect that is? This amount vertically is the exact size as this amount horizontally. So it creates a square. Pretty interesting how that happens. Might be a Darvis concept too, a Darvis box type thing. You can kind of see it here too, the square. Yeah, it's pretty neat. So yeah, A-Lab, pretty interesting here. By the way, where we did sell is we trimmed this high. Well, obviously it gapped through it, so I just sold it open, a good chunk. And then 200 was the next target. At this point, it's like I don't know what the trade's going to do. It's a gap and goer. So I put a stop under the gap and I just didn't look at it. And I just was like, oh, my 200 target got filled. Sick. And that might have been where I sold the rest of mine, to be honest. No. Yeah, okay, that was because once it broke through, I put a stop at 200 and I didn't catch any of this. I just gave it all back. Yeah, and then got stopped out at 200 because I stopped looking at this. So not perfect management, but we got a big old chunk of the pie there. Let's see what SPY's doing into close for us here. And before we do, we will just look at the daily candle here with all of my mess. We'll look at Qs. It'll be cleaner. There we go. So indecision day. Indecision day. This candle tells us very little other than there was a buyer. There were no buyers this day. There was a buyer this day. There was a seller at these previous days' price action. See, we tagged that, found a seller, that same seller here. Pretty big level there overall. So the game plan for next week is, I think that we still have more room up. SPY is puking right now, but whatever, end of the day. I think we have more room up. My hourly oscillators are still expanding to the upside. So it would not surprise me in the least if we trended up into next week, Monday or Tuesday perhaps. And yeehaw, nice slide. And so that's what I'm saying. This looked like a base. And I had 1 second of what's the word? What's the opposite of clarity? If I had clarity, I could tell you. But I instantly got out of that because I'm like, what am I even doing? At the end of the day, anything can happen like this. It's such a knife fight. So it's a great time to just watch the fireworks here and see perhaps if we could get entries for swings. I'm not going to. I'm burnt out. I'm going to look for them next week. But these end of day washouts, if you're bullish into the next day, can give you great entries on swings where there's a high probability, if most of the volume was traded above, that it gravitates back up there later in the week to clean that up. And this is just end of day action. I bet it's hedging some gamma, some 0DT gamma. Yeah, so all these 660 calls came in. There's our gamma flip right at 660. And I bet they pin it between 659 and 660. Or at least I bet that's what they want to do. But now that they're flushing it, they're going to pay out those puts if they close it under it. Oh, wow, we're way under. Oh, wow. Okay, so they might just pay out all those puts. I'd be surprised. And I guess at this point, there are more calls than puts. So this is the lesser of two evils for them. I guess it's just a bad day to be a market maker. Good. Screw them. They win too much. We don't cry for them on their red days. Nice little fib extension from this range here. The 1.6, finding some buyers. That's kind of interesting. All right. So in general, we're going to start rounding up here. We were expecting SPY to close above 660, but all of these calls came in and this became the dominant force. And they didn't want to close it above 660 because all of a sudden it became more expensive for them by a significant margin. So now let's see if they pay out the 658s. I don't think they do. Then they'd have to get under here. I think this is going to bottom. All right. So today overall, nice hustle on both sides. Let's put it like that. You know, the Bears, they really tried in the morning. And you know what? It didn't work out for them. Hit the showers, Bears. Bulls, you know, Bears came back a little bit in the second half. We got to give it to them. They put some points on the board. This isn't a runaway. This isn't a clear buy the high a day close, we're going higher type of candle. This is a indecision, let's see what happens next week candle. This is a candle where we have to learn to look around for other data points that can help give us directional bias when the actual candle close is kind of a nothing burger. We are just pushing deeper on this hourly here too. But in general, wow, it's pretty crazy. So the gap up for NVIDIA, the gap up on earnings yesterday, it was not able to secure a higher high. So that is still, we are still in lower high, lower low. The structure is still bearish by that metric. I'm just seeing signs that makes me think we can push up more. Maybe it's only, I'd like 670 tomorrow or Monday, Tuesday. I'd like 670. It's probably pretty aggressive for Monday, but like Tuesday high of the week, 670, and then we fade that and we look for a new low into the end of the week. That'd be amazing. Love to see that. All right, we are drilling. But trying to find some floor here. All right, guys, we got 30 seconds left. I'm going to wrap this stream up, but you can check me out in 15 minutes. I'm going to be over at Trade the Pool. We're going to be talking about what I did today, what I did this week, what I'm doing for my webinar. We're going to be talking about greed and how to manage it, how to identify it, recognize it, manage it. So it's very, very valuable. We're going to be talking about some trades I took today. I think it's a good example. Nice response here as well. And into the close in 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pencils down. Nice little response from the bulls to close the day there. We like to see it. All right. So this was quite a day. We also get the push after hours here, showing that people did want to buy. They do want to swing long into the weekend, at least a little bit. So we'll keep an eye on it. I would say gun to my head, uppies Monday, Tuesday, downsies Tuesday afternoon to Friday. But as always, we will move with the price action. We don't predict, we trade what we see. So guys, thank you for joining me. This is Power Hour. I'm Steve. This was Power Hour with Steve. Catch me in 15 minutes on Trader TV. I'm not sure if I said Trade the Pool or Trader TV, but I'll be on Trader TV in 15 minutes, and the webinar will be in 40 minutes. That will be on Trade the Pool. So come on in, hang out. We can talk about whatever you'd like to. You can bring charts to the table, bring some trade examples, and we'll have a good time. So thanks so much for spending your Power Hour with me. We had some fun. We made some money, and we are going to do it again next week. Take care now, guys. Have a good one.